Where my career started, when they say that it's a lifetime to achieve an Olympic gold medal, it really was. Growing up, the Rose Parade was a part of the family tradition. We usually had a few leftovers from Christmas, and we would be enjoying the Rose Parade for, and it was just a family tradition, something that we enjoyed. But to be Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade, that's the creme de la creme. It's like the Grand Marshal of all time, So, to be a part of that, and to be able to have that and share that with Janet Evans and Allison Felix, it's wonderful. I'm going to be on the float with my husband and my dog, and Janet's going to be with her family, and we were both at each other's weddings, which was, we go way back. And then Allison's going to be with her family, and to have that diversity and to have that celebration of diversity. I started when I was a year and a half in dance and acrobatics. I was performing on stage when I was 3. I got a partner when I was 3 years old, and we started doing recitals and plays and stuff. And then once I turned 6, then we started competing and we started winning everything. My partner went into gymnastics, and I followed her into gymnastics, and that was my first love. It was my goal to make the Olympic team in gymnastics. And I was trying some of my gymnastics stunts off my diving board at home, and my mom didn't want me to kill myself, so she got me lessons. First day out to lessons, they asked me to be on the team, and I said I'd think about it, because I had so many things going on. And so then when I was 12, I had Osney Slaughters, so they had water under the knee, and so the doctor said that I could continue diving, but I had to give up everything else. And so all of that energy was focused into one discipline. And a year later, I became world champion for my age group at age 13. And then 3 years after that, I was on my first Olympic team and got a silver medal. So that kind of started it, and it really is a lifetime of dedication and training. It's so funny because people ask me what I feel that my biggest accomplishment has been, and they're always expecting, Olympic gold medals or breaking world records and all that. But the thing that I'm most proud of is my book, Breaking the Surface. When I came out about my HIV status as well as my sexual identity. And then years later, I had this documentary, Back on Board. It was nominated for an Emmy and nominated for a Directors Guild Award. And it really is tremendous. I've had the response, when you get responses like, "You saved my life," that is meaningful. That is so substantial. And when I get those letters, or a woman of color, who said, "I'm straight, I have 2 beautiful daughters, and you gave me the courage to come out to my friends and family about my HIV status, and this is a secret that she's been holding for 7 years." And to have that type of response is really impactful. That goes beyond the medals or records or anything like that, because you're actually touching people's lives. Some of the greatest challenges that I feel that I've overcome is I deal with chronic depression. And so those days, the one thing that I learned in therapy, my doctor would tell me, always make your bed in the morning. So it would, that was exactly how I would start my day. I would make my bed, take my shower, do all of that stuff. I may go back to bed, but you know what? At least I made my bed. I accomplished something that day. And sometimes that's all we can do, in dealing with depression. It's something that is not addressed in our society about mental health, because I've also suffered from addiction, alcoholism. And so it's important that we share those things, that people know that they're not alone, and that's what AA is all about. It's about sharing your story, your strength, your courage, strength, and hope. and sharing that with others so that you understand that you're not alone in this, and that it does take that support, to be able to be successful. Definitely my coach, Ron O'Brien. I mean, I could not have gotten through the 1988 Olympic Games after hitting my head and coming back in the prelims. I couldn't have done it without him. But you know who was the true inspiration at that moment in time was Ryan White, the young boy who contracted HIV through his clotting factor, who is hemophiliac. And he became a friend of mine and a friend of the family. And I knew he was a fighter. And that's what I thought to myself. It's like, what would Ryan do? And I knew that he would fight. And so he inspired me. And that's the reason why I gave that medal to Jeannie, to Jeannie White. And it's in the Ryan White Museum in Indianapolis. Those are my heroes. And of course, my mom was my hero. She gave me unconditional love, and that's a part of my necklace. I mean, it's my mom's diamond, my dad's diamond, and my dad's birthstone. And I did a whole TEDx presentation about the design, about finding your truth and going through judgment and labels and then working from the outside in, and that converts into forgiveness. And then all that's left at the center is love. It's important that people travel, experience, various cultures, what's going on around the world, and to be sensitive to that. And be aware and alert. I mean, the indigenous people, that's the reason why I wear the safety pin. It's inclusion. It's about, being an advocate and standing beside our Muslim brothers and sisters, our Jewish brothers and sisters, our LGBTQ, indigenous people. I mean, the things that are happening, and also our environment. These are things that are so vitally important, to humanity. And so I think that's the one thing that will kind of bring us all together, to stand side by side, and not be a bystander, but stand up for other people and stand beside them.